Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Seed down. I'm using my Scott's Edge Guard Mini and 25 pounds of seed. This is sod quality, called Sod Grower 2 is the name of the seed. From United Seeds I ordered online. There's 25 pounds here, and I don't have a scale to really measure it out accurately like I would like. So what I did is I took a tape measure, I kind of flattened this out and made the bag like as even at the top and sides as possible. Just kind of squished it all, made it even. Measured it 15 inches up to the top basically. Took a marker and I marked out every 3 inches, so here's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds. 3 inches of the bag is 5 pounds, give or take. It doesn't have to be an exact science, but that's more or less what we're looking at. So they recommend for heavy overseeding 4 to 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So I know I need to use this much in a little over 1,000 square feet, if that's 5 pounds. Pretty much right on the money. In fact, I could probably do 3 or 4 pounds per 1,000, but I'll go with what the recommended rate is at a heavy overseed at 5 pounds. So if I take that much seed and put it in my spreader, that should get me out to 5,000 square feet. I've got about 5,500, 6,000 square feet-ish, so I'm going to go a little light on that. So I'm going to put that much roughly in the hopper at one time. I marked out 1,000 square feet in my lawn, I know where that is, and I've set my spreader to the lowest setting, which is about a 2 on there, and still have it open. So you'll see here, got that at a 2. This is how much it opens. Just a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to start there at a 2, walk out 1,000 square feet, and we'll see what progress we have on how much seed is coming out. So I'm going to walk this way in rows the first time, and I should be halfway through my seed by the time I hit my 1,000 square foot mark. And then I want to go back and forth crosshatch going this direction on that same 1,000 square feet, and by the time I'm done with that going in both directions, I should have emptied the entire hopper. So, you know, this is just a little bit of a guessing game, a little bit of estimation, using your brain, just kind of figuring out where you're at. So let's get it down. So 1,000 feet is from the edge of my driveway to that brick right there. That's 1,000 square feet measured. 42 by 22 is my measurement. So 1,008 square feet is close enough. I measured out about 4 pounds or so in that hopper right there. So I'm being a little bit conservative with how much seed I'm giving it. It's probably a little less, a little more than 5, a little less than 4 pounds. I want to be on the light side, so I'll make sure I have enough left over at the end in case I need to reseed a few bare areas. So we're going to go a little bit light. I'm going to start at a setting of 2 on the hopper, and I'll walk this in both directions and see how much I have left over. Let's do it. Put my edge guard on right along the driveway here. Go at it. See it coming out, but I don't think it's fast enough. Let's try 3. 2.5. Keep in mind this doesn't throw very far because it's super light seed, so I'm only getting it thrown about 3 feet in each direction. So it's a broadcast spreader, but because the seed is so tiny and so light, it doesn't get very far. But it looks like I'm getting decent coverage. I'm seeing in the dirt here. It looks okay, so I'm going to go with this and keep walking and see how far we get. My overlap isn't going to be that great because it's so light. full, so I think I'm putting it down too light. Even though I also put down less than 5 pounds in the hopper, I'm definitely going light. So I'm gonna bump it up to 4. I'm gonna put the rest down and go over the same path again and see if I can empty this out. Then we'll know that we're good. I guess we'll see if I run out halfway through with one pass going this direction. Then I think we're gonna be all right. So that's how much I have left, if you can see that. Just a tiny bit at the bottom there. I could probably bump this up one more notch, I think. I've got it at a 4. Let's go like 4 1/4. And then I think I've got enough down. So I bumped it up. I dumped about half of what was remaining, 1,000 square feet going one direction. So if I put the same amount as I started with in there, I should have, at that setting, enough going this way and going that way. And I should empty 5 pounds for the next 1,000 square feet. So I will go ahead and try that, and we'll go from there and repeat until we're done. So for my previous marking where the tape measure is to the fire hydrant over there, that's another 1,000 square feet. That's what I'm aiming for. So there we go, everyone. I put down my seed. That's the last step of the day, and then I'm gonna water. Looks like we're gonna get some thunderstorms, hopefully. Look at that. That would be awesome if we got a little bit of rain. I don't know if you can really see the seed or not in the bare dirt. There we go. So it's spaced apart pretty good. I don't know if I put it down too thin or not enough, but I have 6,000 square feet with 25 pounds of seed. I've got, I would say, 4 pounds left, so that was my lower line out of 5 notches. That, if you remember how I measured, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds. So I've got maybe 4 pounds left in there, give or take. So I'm gonna save that for patching in about a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, and see what's left over. Here you can kind of see the seed. It's a little thicker over here, I think. Maybe. So I'm gonna get the sprinklers going, get some water on this. Just to recap what we did over the last few days. About 7 hours yesterday, I spent maybe an hour and a half mowing. I scalped it from like 2 inches down to a half inch. Half inch was too short. The mower wouldn't even go over some of these dirt piles because things are kind of uneven in the lawn. You can even see that probably in the camera. A lot of high spots, so it was scalping on hitting the dirt, and the blade was slowing down. So I cut it at an inch, and then we rented the aerator. Spent about 3 hours doing the front and the back. Backyard I only went over one time, but I spent a good 2 hours doing the front yard. Returned the aerator. Got my Sunjo de-thatcher out. Went over the entire thing. Really ripped up the grass really good. It was looking pretty sad yesterday. It actually turned up a little more green, whatever grass was left over today, in fact, after the rain we had last night, so it's looking better than it was yesterday. Anyway, back on topic, after the de-thatch, cleaned it up with my blower, raked it all into a pile, got it out of here, cleaned up the ground a lot so I can expose the dirt quite a bit. You can see that there's a lot of seed to soil contact. I wish I could roll it in or something just to, really compress the seed down. So after I did that, with the de-thatcher, hooked up my hoses. I put down tenacity as a pre-emergent, and then put down another round of humic acid at about double the rate that is recommended. Well, it's probably even more than that. I did 12 ounces for 6,000 square feet. Yeah, it's about double. Then I put down my seed. I gotta get my hose timer hooked up, and I'll be good to go. Look for a follow-up video pretty soon. Be sure to hit subscribe so you can see the progress. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, everyone.